You want to go to six?
I feel like we're getting in dangerous territory now
I
where
say
if
now
we
we're getting
don't
to
have
yell
the same
territory,
top six, like the same, it doesn't have to be same order, but if we
but
if
the
we have
people
different
need to be the same.
players, then it's like, wow, we really had the difference there. Six for me, I've gone with Andre Blake. I think Andre Blake is he's a phenomenal goalkeeper. I think by the time he is done, he's going to be well in that conversation for the best of all time. The reason I have him a little bit lower right now is because I just think he hasn't had enough time compared to some of the guys above. I've had him on my top 10 list for 6 seasons, in which he won 3 goalkeeper of the years, which is the most in the league's history, and he's got 1 supporter shield. I think a few more seasons for me, he's easily in that top 3 conversation. And I think by the time he hangs it up, I think he's in that conversation for number one. But just considering, I think he still has a few more years left and a few more years to add some more stats to his already incredible resume. I have him a little bit lower on my list at 6.
Think the I so a little bit lower than where I had him. So and it hurt me because I had him there originally. By the way, that's why when you said that, I kind of leaned back. So I was like, all right, that makes me feel better that I thought about things like that. He has the same amount of years as Luis Robles. There's another person on there we haven't talked about yet, who I'm hoping you talk about. Donovan Ricketts only played 7 years in the league. Tony Miola only made it to 11. So it's not like he's at 9. He's at 9 years in the league. Now he might have only played he might have been a backup for 3 of those years, but he's got the amount of time that a lot of these other guys have, or he's getting close to it. What I will say for that perspective is I think six is okay. I just think the reasoning behind it is a little iffy.
Well, it depends on who you have ahead of him. Like I think the guys, and I'd have to double check it because I don't think I tracked every single the total number of years they've been playing, but I think the guys ahead of him have played a few more seasons than him. Like, yes, he's comparative to some other guys like Ricketts, like you said, and Robles, which I have him higher than them because I think he's a better goalkeeper in terms of MLS numbers. And I think he will be better than the guys that are above him right now, but I just think a few more seasons and he'll definitely be above them for me.
It's always tough with guys who are here right now because what are they going to turn into, right? So the way I thought about it was if I stopped it right now, if tomorrow was his last day, where would he fit all time? That's the way I looked at it. And to me, six is okay. I think it's a little low. That's all I'm saying. And
Yeah, but that's harsh to just be like, oh, if I stopped it right now, because then that's not fair to him, because he's got seasons more
well,
where all these other guys got to play throughout their entire career, but
not
Blake has
sure,
his
but
career pretty short.
you're out here saying that. Well, I couldn't put him higher because I think in due time he's going to climb higher. But I think that's a little bit unfair as well because if you think he's going to get there, then that means he's already at a level maybe higher than what you have him at. And I think you knocked him down because he's still playing.
I think if he retired tomorrow, then this is where I'd have him around. I might be willing to move him a little bit higher, but if he retired tomorrow, I think he'd be behind a few guys still because they had a longevity while maintaining numbers similar to what Blake did, like doing it over more seasons than what Blake did. I mean, I knock on wood, I do not want to see Andre Blake retire anytime soon. I hope he puts in another 10 years because I think he's phenomenal. Uh, so I genuinely do think that he will be in that conversation at the top of the list by the time he's done.
I agree with you. I just think I feel like in your voice it sounded like you knocked them down. You knocked him down because he's still playing. That's the way I heard it from you.
I guess it's like if he were to retire right now, I just I don't know if he would have the numbers and the longevity for me to bump him up ahead of a few of the guys above him in my list.
Okay. For me at six, as I'm trying to, I'm very good at Twitter. So I keep getting all these updates about people commenting on my tweets and stuff. And our friend at Worm Burner Podcast replied to us. So Just sharing my thoughts. But
Uh-huh.
at 6, I got Joe Cannon. 15 seasons, Colorado, Galaxy, San Jose, Vancouver. Dude kept the ball out of the net. Again, another guy who did his job. MLS Cup, 2 goalkeeper of the years. He showed out everywhere he went. Every time he went somewhere, he was still in the conversation to start and in the conversation to be a top goalkeeper. One might say he's a bit of an MLS journeyman. It's a podcast reference for our friend Dax McCarty. We're gonna get him on the pod one day. That's a goal.
Yeah.
Him and Luis together.
Together? That's a big
Yeah.
goal.
359 games across the 4 teams that he played for, 95 clean sheets, putting him in the bottom third of the clean sheet percentage with 26.5, 12.5% PK saves. But outside of the spot, he was a good shot stopper. Third out of 30 in the saves category with almost 1,400. And then eighth in save percentage at 72.2. What really put him a bit higher for me, again, not top 5 because of some of the things we just mentioned. In his 15 years, he had 2 goalkeeper of the years, 3 second place finishes, and 2 fourth or higher, meaning that he was a top 5 goalkeeper for half the time that he was in here on multiple different teams. So his quality didn't matter where he played. It wasn't like he had a good defense in front of him or he was on a super team where nobody attacked him. Wherever he went, he was doing the job and put into the conversation of the top 5 goalkeeper, which I think is important.
Okay. I'm going to reserve my thoughts again.
Yikes.
Spoiler.